Good morning. Dumelang, lekay. I hope you all are well. Yes, we're still in August Women's Month phase, or what I call I am not a Mbogodo month. And I thought to share some thoughts. And these are things that have been going through my mind for the past couple of weeks. And I shared a bit of those thoughts, hence the feminism is not ours video. But because my work is with women, I'm always basing a lot around my womanhood, my experiences, my mother's experiences, my grandmother's experiences, other women's experiences, just to understand self better. So this is all from experiences of my own journey as self. It is not anything that I am casting on stone. This is also based on my own research, my own belief system. And through all of this is through my own journey of self, my own journey of self-understanding. As a spiritual life coach, still, I do refer to the Bible. I use the Bible. So it's also one of the things that I had to actually start reflecting on and asking myself. And like how does this work? Like, what's my whole relationship with religion? Because I am against it. I'm against religion. I'm against the patriarchy that came with it. And also in me being against religion and still using the Bible, I had conflict with understanding the whole Jesus part of things. Like it's like so I'm not ready to be calling Jesus Christ above God. It's a conflict that I'm having, and also based on history and studies that are proving that the times of this Jesus and everything else does not match. And also histories and books that depict a different kind of Jesus, and the history of Christianity leading back to Ethiopia, and religion. Now moving away from Christianity, then moving to religion and its existence in Africa, and its influence in Africa. Okay, how far back did that go to? Oh, so this always existed. Makes sense why Christianity is still so big and prominent in us. It's not just a matter of that's how we were colonized. And I'm also having an issue with us just focusing our history, especially as South Africans, from Jan van Riebeeck times, 1652 times, and then that's where we're basing all our history and religion. If we are going to talk religion, let's be ready to go deep and understand and learn certain things. And life is not, and we're still looking for other methods and other systems of belief, because that's how we were trained to look for something that tells you what to do, A, B, C, D. And I was watching a video of Queen Poe where she's talking about religion or spirituality, and she mentions how for some people it is what they need, because some people want to be told what to do and how to do it, and that's what keeps them in a good frame of mind if they're constantly reminded to do good in everything that they do and everything that they believe in. And I can really vote for that one, because some people can think they're spiritual. They can also think and maybe also have the inkling, be gifted too. Sorry, I almost said the inkling of a gift, but there's no such. Be gifted too, but they cannot discipline them. They cannot be accountable of themselves. They cannot own themselves. They don't have the discipline to own themselves and decide their own route and course and journeying into their gift and how to use it. They still would rather go to someone who's going to tell them and give them a handbook on how to do it. And that's why I know we have a high rise of what looks like busangoma, bungoma, and that doesn't apply to everyone. And that's why yes, there should be representation and connection, but that should also not be the end all and be all of your existence as a spiritualist or a healer or even just a human being. The truth of it still needs to go back to leading you back to self, just understanding self. So understanding self means just do research on your own family. Like, find out wherever you can find a lead. Yes, a lot of our history is distorted and forgotten and does not make sense. I can tell you personally from my family, paternal and maternal, we can only go back maybe 3 generations, and then before that no one knows who was who. So even in that, I have to go further back, and I have been led to, because I've been curious, I've been led to places that actually exercise my curiosity even more, and understanding that now I have to say, okay, as Mbedi, where do the Mbedi people come from? Trying to find that out and seeing, oh, there's this, and then wherever it says I come from, I just look to see if there's any similarity, if there's any. Guys, we're using the internet for the wrong things. We're only using the internet to look for people to lead us. We're still looking for like systems of beliefs that still lead us. So if you find an auntymagogo, someone who can help, you want auntymagogo to be the person that you go to every day for every single thing in your life. You don't want to take ownership of self. So that's why religion, system of belief, is good for some people. It is good for some people as long as they are practicing it from a place of good, not from a place of ego. That's where the problem is, and that's where the problem lies. So my own research and studying of it, I'm just on the depth of understanding the existence of religion and what religion really is, and taking what resonates and leaving what doesn't. So the same Bible that I know was recreated by the Roman Catholic, and them wanting to say, yes, they are the ones who have the direct connection and communication from God, and what needs to be done and how this whole thing needs to be sorted. But these are all coming from manuscripts that were found and written by believers or followers. And they decided which ones to put in. The stories of books written by women, there's a lot. That's just how it is. Anything that involves human beings has to be distorted because we are egotistical. However, nothing exists for no reason. So for the mere fact that this book still exists in our time and people are seeing the need to own it, you as a person need to use it as representation and just thought-provoking things, not to take things literally. And if you're a literal person, then fine. If that's how it works for you, then fine, if you're not hurting anyone. But if we are going to speak history, let's stop just starting from Jan van Riebeck times. We were more than before that. We were more even before ancient Kemetic times. Guys, there was Timbuktu times. There was even before Timbuktu. There was so much more. You just being here is you being ancient enough. Try and imagine how many people it took for you to reach 2023 at the age that you're at. How many people can you try and imagine came together over time, over conflicts, wars, whatever? There'll always be wars in life. That's the reality of it. We are living in our own type of wars. So the question is, you as a person, what are you standing for? Are you standing for good, or are you standing for just ownership and glory in this life? Okay, so but yes, so I've been having thoughts around me and religion too. So religion has always existed. A system of belief has always existed, but I resonate with it more because as much as I know and I've come to understand that I am God, I also know how having a higher power has worked for me. Having a higher power to surrender to has worked for me. So there are times where I found God. I was very sick. The year or two before that, I was deemed to die by that December if I don't go join a certain church. And lo and behold, 2 months after that, I went thing. And while I was there, I just knew I didn't belong here. I just knew this wasn't for me. But after more, I think so before that I had gotten sick, very sick, and my dad was the person who healed me. Basically, he gave me something to drink. I was sharp, and that healed me. And paternal grandmother, and there was a time I lived with her a stint, but I remember certain times I'd go to church with her. And there was a time where I remember I was sick and it felt like kinyoko. And so I've seen how that church works. I've come to respect that church, and I've come to understand it, but I knew it wasn't for me. A year or two later, after that, after Kifola, the same illness now comes. And during that time, there's a whole lot of people trying to convince me into other things, like join this church, come, like trying to prescribe me to certain things and their ideas. And I was still very confused, but adamant that no, this is not for me. So kakula. My parents tried, bazama. And then, you know what? I was like, let me pray. Let me pray. So I decided to pray. I tapped and I spoke to God, and I was like, God, if this thing is back again, I don't want it. I don't want this illness anymore. And if it's because of me and me having a big role in life in this world, if you have put me here to do your work of some sort and to do the greater good, okay, I accept, God. Heal me. Heal me. For this fit. I can't afford to. And hey, the last time before that I was sick, there was a time where, like, within a week I was bedridden. Within a week, if I was laying in bed, you weren't able to see me. That's how much weight I had lost. And there was a time where I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I was just ready to die. I was like, let me die. I can't. Let me die. Couldn't drink anything, couldn't eat. I was like, let me be gone. So now the second time this thing is trying to come back, trying to take me back, I was like, God, heal me. I remember bending down. It was broad daylight. Karapela. I was like, heal me, God. And whatever path that you put before me. And I go rough. I cannot plan. I don't know what had just happened. I don't know what just had happened. I can't remember what job I had before that or what I was doing before that, but I just felt ill again. I was like, oh, this thing is back. I spoke to God. And I started praying. And Antikrapela, there's a Bible that I've had since I was in primary school. We're given at a Methodist church. We're given these Bibles, and I still had it. And I had thrown it away at some point because it got wet. My mom was like, no, you don't throw a Bible away. Years before that. So that same Bible. So I start reading the Bible. Around that time, my family thinks I'm getting crazy. So this is like my third take. I guess maybe I shouldn't be going as deep as I want to. But long story short, I found God that day. And that's where, when I decided to start praying, I found God. And I told him, lead me. And he led me. He led me into my first official business of clothes. From me selling my own clothes, selling my mom's old clothes, selling secondhand things, to then selling vintage, which is secondhand, and taking it to a higher and higher level. But throughout that, if I recall, and in retrospect, I remember just me just praying and surrendering myself to something higher than myself, and saying, you know what, I am done listening to any other human being. I don't want to listen to any other human being. I don't want to be taken from one place to another from the last time I was sick. So you are going to lead me and lead me. And he did lead me. I'm not lying. He did lead me. And I don't know how, but that was my enlightenment. That was my aha moment. That was me starting my initiation. To be honest, that's when I started my initiation. I made it personal. I started playing along to whatever people thought they were doing, or trying to help that I knew that I didn't agree to or prescribe to. And I still just carried on in my own thing. People thinking I was crazy because now I'm finding God. I was okay with that. I still carried on. And then fast forward that, and me learning God and learning about God led me to then knowing about myself, where I was starting to communicate and communicate with the people that existed before me. Communicating where I just get thoughts on certain things. I'm like, I don't know why I know this or how I know this, but I know it. So in my time, I didn't recall, but something in me recalled of certain things that I needed to do, needed to say, needed to believe. And I get okay, because I existed before, so whoever I was then was coming back. And then that now took the whole God thing out the way to some extent. Didn't take it completely out the way, but I then started focusing more on that. But long story short, you need to create your own religion, create your own systems of beliefs, meaning having certain principles that you follow, your values, things that no one can come and take away from you, things that you want to pass down to your kids, things that you want your kids to start understanding and knowing about life. So whatever it is that you prescribe to, as long as it's coming from a good place, that's your religion. As long as it's coming from a good place and it's coming from you, it's about you. It's you working with self, you being your own religion. That is what it is. That is what initiation is. It's what it's how people are getting humbled. You become humble. You forget about everything that you thought made you. It's you now surrendering to learning more. Like you need to be making peace with having that dumbass look in your face all the time. Like, oh, damn. It's you being reminded over and over again. Out to the next. It's you sitting the fuck down. Like situations. I know this shit. You sit down. That is initiation. This life is initiation. Learning self is initiation enough. If you won't be able to just sit down and listen to self. For those who have a problem with believing in a higher self, I believe in a higher self, in a higher being, not even self, a higher being. I believe in a higher self, but a higher being of existence, because I cannot find the explanation for everything that I see that is around me. Some things are just that amazing that we cannot explain them. We can't fathom them. They're out of this world. That's how oh shit, this shit is bigger than me. You can do your own research on ancient aliens. There's so much out there in this world that shows over and over again how much we don't know much about much. We don't know shit. So the issue is people now wanting to be masters of things, because I know that Christianity came in this way, that the Roman Catholic Christianity came in this way. I must hate Christianity now. I hate it. I hate Christianity. The same thing that came to destroy me, that killed my people, that killed and took from us and stole us and took us and sold us. I must apply that same hatred that they brought to me for it to make sense to me. That is just screaming trauma. That is just screaming you focusing on shit that doesn't matter. Representation. As much as we can say that about Christianity, but we're not talking religion. There's so much that religion has done. Let's also talk about what religion has done in these movements over time. If we are still going to base it on 1562, Jan van Riebeeck time for South Africa. Let's talk about what religion did during those times in helping us gain our freedom, in conscientizing us as Black people. What roles did churches play? And if you look at the roles that churches played or religion played, you look at the people that were at the forefront of putting these religions forward, because that was someone in a cloak of that church. He he was performing and walking, or she was walking or performing her gift under a certain order, a system of belief. Archbishop Tutu, it was a certain thing. But he was for the movement, using that same, as we can say and argue how it came to be before that form of revolution of that church. But still, the fact is, it was religion that was involved. Religion was still involved in the emancipation of a lot of African people, even in the America. So us going and trying to hate it, no, that's stupid, because again, we as who we are, the children of light, no matter what is thrown to us, we will find God in it. We will find the truth in it. We will find the message in it. Whatever that could be used to fight us against ourselves. Now we need to start looking at facts. Religion is a big part of our lives. It has played a big role. Besides what it has been used for, as someone else using it as that tool, that was someone else's tool. What is your tool with religion? What are you going to use religion for? So I can't be saying I'm starting my own course of religion or belief, system of belief, against me now in everything. Like, yeah, unlike what they say, go Christianity, no. The same Bible that I read, even the same scripture that I'll be sharing in this class, should I rather say, is a text about Adam and Eve. And to some extent, it says, you will be subject to your husband. Now, and then they're starting the whole topic of being submissive and how some interpretations, other people's tools, them using religion as a tool, choosing to add their ego to it so that they can control other people. It's all a matter of interpretation and what you prescribed to. If you're a man that agrees to a woman being under the man, you will go to that church. If you're also a woman who agrees in being led in that way, you will agree to it and you will live by it. If that's what works for you, then go for it. But if you are sitting down and this thing is telling you to hate another person, another thing that is different to you, or turns you against who you are, or who you could be outside of what you are right now, it is not for the greater good, sis. It is not. So that's the question. What is your religion? What is your religion? Mine does not have a name. I am not Christian. I am not Christian because I can't put. I'm yet to understand that maybe how Jesus is above God, or above me, or above my ancestors. I can't. Even the New Testament, I read it. I apply what I apply, and I apply that lesson to myself, because there's a lesson in everything. There's something to learn in everything. But I can go to church, which I will be going. It's a new thing that I want to start doing. I'm going to church. I'm being led to go to church. So I've been wanting and searching for my own church. And I think it's time. And I think I found it. To go to visit. As a churchgoer, not as a member. I'm not trying to go there and be involved. No. You need to be smart as a person. Like, act accordingly, man. Act accordingly. Know how to act where, and understand why you are there. I need to be reminded that I'm not in control of this shit every once in a while. So that's why I am going to church. I need to be reminded, and I need to be in that same peace and energy of other people who are there also, to say, God, my God, I'm here to give you my time. I am here to say thank you. I am here to say hallelujah right here. All praise to Yah. All praise. Every day I have my own rituals where I wake up and I remind myself of my existence, of my religion. So, stop following what other people are saying. Go find your own truth. Do your own research. But start by finding out Gawena. There's a reason why I'm going to church, and this is based on the history of my lineage and my people and my experiences of life. Not because gabatla khoya nje. And also in me understand that some shit really does not make sense, and it doesn't have to make sense. But if it's working and it's giving me peace and health, I'm okay with it. And then I will follow that. If along the line it changes, but Buddhist, we'll see what being Buddhist is about. Like how ingena upile. Why are we scared to investigate and find out? Why are we scared to be wrong? And better coming back wrong with having like the proper answers. Oh, I'm wrong because of this. This was wrong because of that. So find your own religion. Be your own religion. Be your own religion. And you will find your own tribe. I get why a man finds a wife and moves from his father to build his own life. We are all here to build our own lives, but there needs to be a true religion that comes from that, a foundation. Okay, that's the end of part 2. See you in our next class. Our class, yeah, a woman and her influence. What our influence is as women.